morning, and today we are moored up in the pound at the bottom of Wigan Flight. Overnight the water has disappeared. You might be able to see from that boat down there, which is tilted right up on its side, and ours. We woke up this morning and started falling into walls. It feels like we're right on the bottom, so we're just going to release the ropes and see if we can float off. Our footplate is right up out of the water. It doesn't look like we can float out. There's so much water come out of this pound that we're just completely stuck on the bottom. And it's not like a small pound between two locks, it's enormous. It's going to take a lot of water to be able to get us afloat again. We haven't seen the people in the boat down there, but they must be feeling very tilty this morning. So H is off down to the lock down at Wigan town to see if a paddle's been left open, which is the most obvious explanation. Well, it turned out it was the usual thing. Somebody had left a paddle open further down, so Henry's closed that, and now he's up at the bottom of the Wigan Flight letting water down. But obviously we don't want to make all the pounds up there short, and this is a massive pound, so we're just going to have to play it by ear and see what happens. But we can't stay like this. It's just weird. Give us an update then.
Well, there was two paddles open on one of the locks down there, so they weren't left open, they were opened by some hooligans, no doubt.
All right.
Anyway, I emptied that lock up there, which was already full, so that was handy, and I ran some water through it, but I've shut it all up now and just waiting for it to fill up again. But it's a huge volume of water, so it's going to take a couple of hours, I guess.
Well, we've seen some volleys go up and they know we're here, and there is a river feeding into this pound, albeit very slowly. It's a lock of 23, and they said to us you don't want to start attempting it after lunch, so it's going to take a few hours. So we're desperately trying to push the boat off the side, because if we can just float her out into the middle we can make a start. But I think it's going to be a slow day today. Henry's almost got the front floating. Is the front floating? Well, half of our boat is afloat then. So we're now stuck at a jaunty angle. Oh, what fun and games. Oh, we're moving. God, don't fall in. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, we feel like we're floating. Oh yeah. Ooh. Well, we've got sort of 8/10 of the boat floating, but we're a bit worried about the middle floating out and turning around, so we're going to have to pull around a bit again. It's just sort of jiggery pokery really until we can get the back off. We're 3 hours into our stuckness, and they've padlocked all of the locks going down to Liverpool and coming up from the other direction, just to allow this pound to fill up a little bit. It is actually fed by a small river as well, so they've made sure there's no blockages. So there is a flow coming in, albeit very slowly. The problem is the boat behind us, which has no one on it and is listing really badly. It's leaking diesel, and it's always a bit of a quandary touching somebody else's boat, but I think we might have to loosen the ropes on it and try and straighten it up a bit. The trouble is that might leave it floating out a bit. So anyway, I've let the volunteers know because we're not sure what to do. This is the problem. It's listing so badly that the pound is just now full of diesel. But I have rung Canal and River Trust and they're sending somebody out to deal with it. Meanwhile, we're still rocking our boat. 5 hours later, nothing's happening. Diesel is still spilling and it's all around our boat now and it stinks. Some lads fishing up there as well, so we've just gone to tell them about it, and it looks like nothing is happening very quickly. Well, CRT have arrived and they're going to put some pads in the water to try to mop up some of the diesel because it's making us feel quite ill. In fact, we're going to go for a walk away from the boat for a bit. They're also going to let some water down. They don't think we'll be able to move today, but in fact if they do let some water down, we're going to try and get up a couple of locks because I just don't want to sleep with this smell of diesel in the boat and all around it. So we'll have to see what the day brings. So now the volunteers have just come down at the end of their shift, and apparently there is a boat coming down and they're letting a bit of water down. So there is a vague possibility of us moving today, although we're not going to get to the top, I don't think.
So we had it moving back then?
Well, I think with both of us doing it, it almost did, so maybe we should try that again. Yes, we've done it! Chuck the centre line. We made it! After 7.5 hours, we're in the first of 23 locks. So we're not going to be able to do them all today. But apparently we can moor up at lock 76 where there's another boat waiting to come down tomorrow. So have to gird our loins and get on with it. So happy though. Well, 9 hours after we started this morning, we've come up 9 locks, which is more than we thought we were going to be able to do. And there is a pound just down there that we should have moored in, but we were grounding there as well, so we're mooring just between lock 77 and 76, which is a very short pound, and there's another boat there, so we'll snuggle up. That's been alright really. It's about 5-6 o'clock now and we've done 9 locks, so that leaves 14 for tomorrow, something like that, so not so bad. Managed to pick up lots of rubbish from the locks on the way up, and another fender. So fenders are us. Morning, day 2 up the Wigan flight, and it's raining. We got 14 locks to do, I think. Some of them are quite deep, so we're really climbing quite a lot. Look how beautiful this lock is. We're having a lot of difficulties with this lock gate. It was open when we arrived this morning. I guess the last people down couldn't shut it, and Henry's struggling to do that. It is huge. Well, apparently this is a well-known lock for gate problems, and we just can't get the gate open. This chamber is collapsing because of subsidence, so the doors aren't fitting very well. So I'm going to go up and try and give Henry a hand, but I'm on the Wigan Lock Flight Facebook page, so I've put out a call for help. So hopefully a volunteer will turn up and we can get moving. I climbed up out of the lock, and between us we managed to shut it, and it's slowly filling, and luckily there's a volunteer come down to help, which is just as well because H was starting to get ready to turn around and go back down. I think he got a bit fed up sitting around for so long yesterday, and they're quite a struggle, the doors on this flight, but hopefully we'll be able to get up now without incident. And unfortunately the volley has just told us that we can only go one more lock because all the ones up ahead were left open all night, bizarrely, so there's not enough water up there. So yeah, this is proving really tricky. Well, it's sometime later and I'm floating around in a very empty pound, just about floating, and the lock in front of me, the volley has told me just to hang around because he's worried that we're going to get caught up on the sill going into the lock because there's so little water. They're trying to get a boat down, but the pound after this lock is completely empty and the lock after that one is also completely empty. Henry can see all the rubbish and bricks on the bottom of it. So I think it's probably going to take us quite a while to get up today. I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure if this is generally a problem on the Wigan flight. Maybe it's always problematic, but it's definitely been the worst one that we've done so far. And whether that's just a thing at the moment or whether it's always like that, I don't know. Maybe someone can tell me. Well, we floated her in, but that's where we're staying for the moment. Let's go up and have a look at this pound. And that, as you can see, is the problem. Nice view from up here though. And this is the next pound, with the usual bicycle in there. Oh, there's a big fish as well. I'm back on the boat and it's 4 hours since we started, and we've done 2 locks, I think, maybe 3. There's another boat 3 locks up. So they've got to fill those pounds up because we've got to be able to pass in one of the pounds. But they're letting the water down and it's coming up reasonably quickly. So hopefully we'll still soon be on our way. I think we've still got about 6 locks to do. I've just totally lost count now. But it's not raining anymore. Oh, that was scary. I was just sitting on the boat waiting for things to happen, and so a boat's come up behind and our boat has tipped right up on its side in the lock. So I've got off it because it was a bit scary. So Henry's managed to stop them and he's letting a bit of water in up there, and hopefully the boat will right itself. I'm keeping my eye on the footplate down there. It's right up out of the water and it should be sort of 6 inches under the water, so once that's gone back down I know it's okay. Safely out of that lock. It turned out that a rather over-enthusiastic volunteer was letting water into the pounds below and our boat was caught up and tipping over. That was really scary. I didn't like that at all. Anyway, we were going to wait for a boat that was coming up behind us, but they're having problems with the gate down there, so we're moving on slowly. We've run out of food, so we were hoping to get to a shop today because we couldn't find one yesterday. Henry's eating his apple lunch and we continue on up. but at least there's enough water now, and they've left all the locks open for us up the remaining summit. I'm not sure how many we got left, 5 or 6 I think. Coming out the top of the Wigan flight, you come into a thick carpet of pennywort and blanket weed, and our boat stopped working with stuff around the prop. I'll chuck you the centre line and you can pull it along. Here we go, my love. Behind also had to be pulled out by rope. So that's it. H has got all that off the prop shaft. So the Wigan flight, not for the faint-hearted, but at least there is a working shower at the top, which was much needed. Well, that's it. I think this flight of locks is going to fill up a whole video, but I have been told by another boater that things are going to get better, so we can only hope so. Henry's just having a shower because they're working and they're clean, and so we indulged, and then we're going to go on a few miles and try to find some food because we're almost out and we're hungry. We've had a bit of toast and an apple today, so we let ourselves get a bit low. So see you on the next video. Have a good week. Bye for now.